What's cracking, everybody? You're back with Mr. Berger, and tonight I'm excited to bring you another collaboration video. Tonight I'm collaborating with Odyssey Games. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, man? First of all, what's your RL name?
My real name is Riley.
Okay, cool. Nice to have you on, Riley. What's your in-game name?
My in-game name is Savage Matey.
Alright, so we can see that up top there. Well, tell us how you got that name.
I got that name because I was because MLG in my school was like the thing. It was like the thing to watch. So you know, Savage and Matey. So yeah. But my original name was because the original account was owned by my friend's sister, which was on Goblin Stadium. So I didn't really cheat.
Right, Arena 1, right?
Yeah, Arena 1. And then it was Witchy Poo. So, you know, kind of like necessary to change that.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, I don't blame you if you decided to change it from Witchy Poo, something that's not so kiddie. You know, me personally, I probably would have kept that, but hey, that's a personal preference. Alright, so tonight you're going to be showcasing this classic log bait deck, and you're going to give us some tips, run through some replays. I want to hear a little bit more about you, and then we'll run into the deck itself. So, where are you from, dude?
I'm from New Zealand. It's below Australia, and yeah.
Okay, cool. So that part of New Zealand. All right, awesome. So tell us a little bit about like your gaming history, how you got into playing Clash Royale.
Well, my original gaming history was basically we had an old PS2, PlayStation 2, and we used to play like all the wrestling games, and then it moved on to more like Call of Duty and Battlefield and stuff like that. Yeah. And then all my friends started playing like Clash Royale. So I started playing Clash Royale, and then it's like originated from there.
Okay, cool. So you got into it for the social scene, as is the case for a lot of us gamers. As I've mentioned in some of my other videos, I used to play World of Warcraft a lot, and the best memories that I had were when I would be playing with my buddies. You know, we'd all get together after school or whatever, and you know, hop on, do some quests or some PvP together. So what is your Clash Royale experience? Like, how long have you been playing the game? You know, have you been playing since release? What would you say?
I think, definitely not from release, but when I started, I think the Cannon Cut Challenge was out,
Okay.
So that's like a year, I'm pretty sure.
Oh man, that feels like not that long ago for me, but it probably has been, right? I'll have to look it up after this video. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're about to win this match here, and you finish it off just by playing defense. So let's jump into talking about the deck itself. Now this is like the classic log bait, running Inferno Tower, running the log bait cards, which are what, Princess and Goblin Gang and Goblin Barrel. You even have Knight in there.
Yeah, Knight is the necessary tank. I think you could have used Ice Golem, sorry, but I think Knight is obviously a bit beefier and it works just a bit better in this deck.
Yeah, I love Knight. I'm so sad that they nerfed him twice in a row.
Yeah.
You can see at the top of my layout here, it's my face over the Knight, because he was my favorite card, dude. But then they nerfed him, they hit him hard with a nerf stick, so I was pretty sad about that.
Same with Mega Knight, but
Yeah, Mega Knight got nerfed pretty hard too. They hate those Knights. Yeah. We'll see what the upcoming patch brings. Alright.
Yeah, I have it buffed.
Yeah, me too. I hope they buff them again. What's your main win condition in this deck? What would you say?
Main win condition is main is probably Goblin Barrel. You can use the other one is Princess, which is a really good card in general because it does splash and it's really good for defensive. Yeah. But if you had like either Goblin Barrel or Princess, obviously I would go Goblin Barrel because that is only uses as offensive unit like I did there right now. Yeah. Yeah, because Princess can be used on defensive.
Yeah, definitely. I like using her on the defense because you put her in the back, dude, and she has the potential to stay alive forever because of her massive range and really slow movement speed.
Yeah, especially with like minion horde or stuff like that.
Yeah, something placed in front of her to distract. It's great when you get like 2 or 3 of them on the field at once. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so those would be your main win conditions. Would you say you have any alternate win conditions in this deck?
Alternate is probably my only alternate one is a rocket can be one condition to finish off, you know, but
Yeah.
any other is probably like Goblin Gang, which is can be used like it's really good for stopping either like Knight or Ewiz as you saw there,
Yeah.
or like Musketeer.
Yeah, or even the P.E.K.K.A, a heavy tank like that, comboed with the Inferno Tower.
I would rather, but for P.E.K.K.A, I would rather probably use like Ice Spirit and Goblin Gang.
Yeah.
Just because of its tankiness, yeah.
And then what else do we have in there? I would say you could actually kind of consider the Rocket a win condition in a way, like you said.
Yeah.
Especially once you're in double elixir time, you can just like Rocket cycle if you have to.
Yeah, just like that, I used Ice Spirit Goblin Gang to defend the P.E.K.K.A.
Oh yeah, totally. And then you can use the Inferno Tower. And I want to talk about your choice of the Inferno Tower in this deck. A lot of decks and players nowadays are running Tornado or alternate things in the place of Inferno Tower, even like Tesla Tower. What makes you decide to go with the classic version and run Inferno Tower?
Well, running Tornado for me is very hard to do, especially against heavy decks like this guy has with the P.E.K.K.A and Dark Prince. But I just feel like Tesla doesn't have that much health, and it doesn't do can't do that much damage over time. But there's Dark Prince, and that is perfectly fine. But Inferno Tower can like destroy lots of tanks like P.E.K.K.A or Golem or stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
totally.
I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't use it against like 3 muskets because it's firepower.
Oh, and there you finish it off as we were talking about with the spell cycle. Another thing that I would like to talk about is, well, we already talked about the Knight. Would you think about even like a Valkyrie or an Ice Golem in the place of the Knight?
Well, there is a variation of Logbait that I think Siwa Clash Flash might have showed.
Yeah.
With the Valkyrie instead of Knight. I don't personally like this one. The reason why he showed that type is because of the recent nerf, because of recent nerf of the Knight.
Yep.
But I personally don't like the Valkyrie. I reckon it's a bit too expensive. Yes, it has a lot more damage. It can do a bit more damage, but I just don't like it.
Yeah, that's understandable. It's a personal preference, and this is something that we were talking about earlier. Is this deck works out well for you, and you like this deck, and you like this playstyle, this classic Logbait deck. And there's a lot of variations of it nowadays, you know, with like Dark Prince or Miner or Bandit or whatever, and Minion Horde. But it's like, why fix it if it's not broken, right? Like, you like playing it, and clearly it's effective for you, as you've told me.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So, Ice Golem, that doesn't really work because of its has a less health than Knight.
Yeah.
And I just don't see it. I think people have tried it, but I just don't see it working.
Yeah, I've definitely seen Valk in this deck. I don't see Ice Golem so much in this deck unless you got like a Dark Prince is a different variation or something like that.
Yeah. Miner can be in this deck. Mine is quite good in this deck, but again, it's my preference is to go with this one.
Yeah, totally. And I love the Knight. He does have that really powerful auto attack, so the Ice Golem doesn't have that. So not only is he like a defensive tank unit, like a mini tank, he also has a really solid DPS output.
What Ice Golem's good for is because it doesn't go for troops. You can kite it all over through the whole arena, and all the towers can be on it.
I know. I love kiting with an Ice Golem. I put a video clip on Reddit and on my Instagram and stuff about kiting one P.E.K.K.A kiting one P.E.K.K.A twice with 2 different Ice Golems. So I kited it all the way into the left lane, and then the Ice Golem died, and I cycled back and kited it into the right lane with another. It was amazing. So I love that Ice Golem factor. But I think in this deck, the Knight probably works out better. Yeah. So
because it's it can like take out like it's really good for using positive elixir trades.
Yeah.
Like against Witch or Wizard or stuff like that.
Oh yeah, like as a support killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's a great usage of the Knight.
When people use like P.E.K.K.A or Golem and then put Ewiz or Wizard or Witch, I just go Knight or Knight Log. As you see, I got 2 princesses there, so...
Yeah, and they finish off the tower with the rocket.
Yeah.
Don't even need the rocket.
No.
Alright, so the next thing that I want to talk about is how would you play single elixir time versus double elixir time?
Well, single elixir, you're trying to take the tower within 2 minutes. And, with double elixir, if you're in the winning position, you can only play defense if you like. But if you're in the losing position, you're going to try and use your fast cycle ability to try and cycle him out.
Okay. So ideally, because it's kind of like a chip kind of damage deck, you're trying to win in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Before you get into double elixir.
Or at least take a tower.
Yeah, okay, yeah, at least take a tower. Yeah, that's good. So that you can kind of play defense after that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what would you say some of your difficult matchups are, and how would you counter them?
Difficult matchups are kind of 3 Musketeers.
Uh-huh.
But you can counter 3 Musketeers, like, if he splits them up. And this is where the tornado version is good, because you can tornado them into one lane and rocket them. But with log bait, this version of log bait, sorry, you have to, if they split them for the 2, the 2 sides, it will be good to play like Knight, Ice Spirit, and for the other one you can play Goblin Gang, or even just log them back, and this maybe suck up the damage if you like.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's totally, like, you got a lot of cards in this deck to answer the Musketeers once they're at the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Do you have any other personal tips that you'd like to share with us for this deck?
Best tip I can probably give is that don't rush your opponent if they're using also a fast cycle deck. The best option you have against winning them is probably trying to out-cycle them. Don't try and don't spam them right away, because if they have a cycle deck, they can punish you in the other lane.
Mm-hmm.
So try and out-cycle them.
Yeah.
Like, if try and make them use again, it's called baiting out.
Right.
It's a bait deck, so you can bait out a deck. Bait out cards, sorry. So if they, if they use, again, this is very basic, if you go Goblin Barrel and they use log on your Goblin Barrel, you can go Princess or Goblin Gang or something like that.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. That is basic, but that's something that we need to include, because that's the core concept of a log bait deck, is baiting out their log, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the last thing that I would like to talk about is card replacements. It looks like you're about to win this replay here, so why don't we jump into one more? Alright, we're going to do this one in double time just so we can skim through card replacements, and then he's going to give us some more specific strategies and reasons why he made specific decisions in another replay. So, card replacements. What would you say for Knight? We mentioned Valkyrie or Ice Golem. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, that's really good replacement if you don't have a high level Knight. But you can also go Dark Prince.
Okay, cool. What about Log or Rocket?
Log, is like Zap. You can go Zap if you want, but obviously it doesn't have the damage. It can't if it's high level. That only can if it's high level that can take out goblins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's the closest thing I can probably give you to thing. Log, sorry.
And for Rocket, would you just run another spell like Fireball or something?
The thing is that Rocket is a high damage spell. And the other thing I can say is probably either Lightning, but that has a lower damage rate. Damage, sorry. And but I wouldn't. Maybe Poison, but that's Rocket's kind of like irreplaceable.
Yeah, it's pretty solid in this deck. So for the building, we mentioned for Inferno Tower, you could just do like a Tesla or a Tornado, right?
Yeah.
For Ice Spirit, maybe another cycle card like Spear Goblins or something like that.
Or like some skeletons.
Yeah, totally. Okay, cool. Let's jump into this last replay here.
But for Princess, you can use if you're really desperate to use a deck, you can use a high level Dark Goblin, but even there it's really risky.
Okay, so I like Spear Goblins sometimes now because they're also log baity in the place of the Ice Spirit. Goblin Barrel, I would say, is kind of irreplaceable.
Yeah, unless you want to use Miner.
Oh yeah, that might work out. That'd be fun. Okay, cool. So why don't you run us through this replay? What are you doing here with that lumberjack coming in?
I used Goblin Gang because I know I could detect the witch, but then I used Knight just to make sure the lumberjack doesn't get any extra damage off it, doesn't need to.
Right.
Here I'm really desperate, and I use because it's on rage. I have to use my Goblin Barrel, unfortunately.
Yeah, just to make sure that Inferno Dragon doesn't touch your tower, because that's bad news.
And then there I use Goblin Gang. I don't think it gets a hit there, but no, it doesn't. But yeah, that's what Goblin Gang can do. Normally, the only reason it didn't get hit there is because it had the extra goblin from the Goblin Barrel. But normally, you would have to place Ice Spirit to stop it from getting at least one hit. Yeah. Obviously, I'll use Knight here because it's a tank and can take it out.
Yeah, when you got a naked like Musketeer or Wizard or something like that, some sort of support card coming across the river, Knight is an easy counter, as we were talking about earlier.
He thinks he's got me because he uses Lumberjack. I can go Ice Spirit and then cycle with my Goblin Barrel.
Yeah, and does he... Oh, he has arrows. I don't think he has log in this deck, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. But arrows, again, could be arrow bait as well as log.
No, yeah, absolutely. That's just like the spell that he's running. Oh, man, look at that princess value.
Yeah,
that was
why
huge. Oh, man. His horde just got melted, dude. Alright, so there's the arrows. And the thing is, with arrows, it's always going to be an equal elixir trade rather than a negative elixir trade for you every time you arrows your stuff.
That's why, again, with a deck like Log Bait, it's good to have positive elixir trades.
Yeah.
In your opponent, so you can keep them cycling.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Alright, so at this point you see the Mega Knight. What are you thinking?
Inferno. I like to wait, if I don't have 10 elixir already, I like to wait till 10 elixir, then place down my Inferno Tower.
Yeah, I was going to say, because he could counter it if he knows it's there.
Yeah. And then there I use my Goblin Gang to take out the Hog.
Yeah. And the Mega Knight, it distracts the Mega Knight a bit.
Here I'm a bit confused. I'm a bit angry because, I don't know why I did that. I was probably, not paying attention.
Probably a misplay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's alright, it happens to all of us.
Yeah, but I like using Goblin Gang to kite away the minion horde from the actual tower because that's a really good way to use Goblin Gang. Yeah, and here I'm just defending loosely because I'm gonna win.
Yeah, and like you were saying, you got to get that first tower out, right? You got to get that first tower down in the first 2 minutes, and then you can play defense, especially against a heavy deck like this.
Yeah.
Alright, cool, man. Well, that is pretty much it for replays. So before we let you go here, I personally want to say thank you so much for coming on. And if you're watching this on his channel, thank you so much for having me. And do you want to give any shout-outs or any final words before we call the video here?
Not really, but shout out to Jack, who's actually who actually made Odyssey games. Yeah, and he's kind of the visionary, but he was the visionary behind Team 11.5 and making Clash Royale YouTube channel, and he's the one who actually got me into Clash Royale. So, yeah, shout outs to him.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you for letting me collab with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely, dude. I'm happy that we made it happen. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad that we went through this. So make sure that you subscribe to these guys. Your new channel is called Odyssey Games. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Alright, so go subscribe to Odyssey Games, guys. Thanks so much, and have a good night.